Hello, beautiful people. I am Janita, your digital nail stylist here to talk to you about your new foot care plan. All right. So we have continuously been, experiencing these foot care issues. I've heard your questions, especially after my reels, and you're like, what do I do about this or that? Well, I'm here to break it down from you from start to finish. Many of you have downloaded my foot care videos before, but maybe you didn't understand what I meant. And so I want to give a little bit more clarity about how to care for your feet. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Please share this out. Majority of us were not taught how to care for our feet. And so this is for every last one of us because we need this help. All right. We need to know how to properly care for our feet. All right. So I've got my little notes here because I want to stay on task. It's a lot to explain, especially because I do this on a daily basis with clients, and I've been licensed for over 10 plus years. And so I have just consumed myself with educating myself and making sure that I know how to properly care for my clients. But I want to make sure that I break it down for you as a person who's going to care for themselves and or go to a place and they're, going to get cared for. You still need to know what people are doing to you, even when you go into the nail salon and get your services that every 2 weeks or every month or whatever your regimen is. You still need to know what's going on, because that way you can know and speak to if somebody is doing something that they're not supposed to do. All right. So though you didn't go to nail school, you still need to make sure that you know what's going on. Thank y'all so much for sharing this out. Thank you so much for joining me. All right. So starting off, I had a question over on my TikTok page talking about my feet is hard. What do I do? How do I fix it? So if your feet is hard, the natural inclination is to slather on as much product as you possibly can. So you probably got your Vaseline going, you probably got your socks going, and or you got your foot file and you're just like hitting it. All right. And though that may be like the practice that you previously did, after today, I don't want you to do that. All right. I have something better. I have a proven method that will work, a 3-step proven method. So that person that's like, I don't have time for no type of self-care, this will work for you, because at minimal, you are using the restroom. At minimal, you are washing up, and these things that you can do on with your current regimen, just weaving in these little steps. First thing that I need you to do is I need you to exfoliate. Think about and imagine a actual sponge. And I wish I had one. I'm actually have to invest in one so I can show you. A sponge, it is drawn up, all right, in its original state. Once it's drawn up and it's very tight, not pliable, all right. That's how our skin is. It is drawn up when it is dry, but when you put moisture in it, it softens, it's pliable. So that's how your feet are right now. It is dry, it is cracking, you can't really budge it, it's looking all chiseled. You probably got different colorations on the bottom of your feet. Like one area looks light, the other area looks dark, depending on how you've been caring for your feet. You probably got like a really, really thick callus under this little area, or like on the side of your great toe. You probably got, built up area right here. And it's just not giving. It's not giving what we want it to give. And so what we need to do first is we need to exfoliate. We need to exfoliate. Why, Janita? Why do we need to exfoliate? We need to exfoliate with a quality moisturizer based exfoliant. So it's a sugar-based exfoliant. I don't prefer you all to use the salt-based ones. It's just, again, my preference, because I feel like if you're already dry, you need as much moisture as you can possibly get to like lock in and make your skin more pliable. So I would suggest using a moisturized based exfoliant. I have jojoba oil in this one. I have vitamin E oil, and oils that is just going to, again, soften and enrich your skin, as well as exfoliate and turn over those dead cells. So what happens every 30 days, our skin is on like this cycle that every 30 days we get like this scaliness happening, and we need to exfoliate that off. Now, you may be the beautiful lady that is, you're moisturizing, you got your skincare routine for your face. Well, it's no different for your feet, you all. It's no different for your feet. You need to incorporate a moisturizing exfoliant that's going to smooth away that old stuff and bring up that new freshness. All right, so that old stuff looks like a thickened callus on your feet. It looks like a thickened side of your big toe. It looks like under the ball of your feet where you've been rubbing and going to and fro, it's built up that thickened skin. That's what I mean. We need to soften that part before we go vigorously, using a foot file. Let's soften it. Let's make it more pliable. And I promise you that is going to transition well once you go into the therapeutic foot cream. All right. The therapeutic foot cream is going to add, again, more layers of moisture. It's going to, again, allow the skin to be even more pliable. So when you go to the third step of my proven method, when you start smoothing and refining, this is not a cheese grater foot file. If you are using the cheese grater looking foot file, you're not going to get the results. Even if you do the exfoliation, even if you do the moisture, you're not going to get the same results for if you use this foot file versus one that has holes in it where you can see through the holes. Every time you use a cheese grater looking foot file, or another one is like the Creo blade where it has like a blade that you put on there and it's like cutting your skin, what you're telling your skin is, hey, grow back thicker to protect me because I've been cut, basically. So that's why every time, even if you go to the nail salon on a, 3 weeks or every 2 weeks, it's anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks is typically what people's rotation are. Even if you do that on a faithful basis, and they have been using any of those tools, the Creo blade or the cheese grater looking foot file, you're working against yourself. You're working against yourself and you're wasting your money. All right. So I'm trying to make sure that, listen, and I always tell my clients, if you sat in my chair once, you're always going to be my client. If you follow me on this page, you're my client. Okay. Even from a distance. And I want to make sure that you have the proper tools to care for your feet, and using the cheese grater is working against you. And I don't want you wasting your money. All right. So what you're going to do instead, just to, recap, is you're going to exfoliate. You can tell those, even if you go to another nail salon, you can tell them, hey, I want you to exfoliate. I want you to moisturize and then go in with the file. All right. Or you can do this at home. That's why I wanted to make it so simple. You can do this at home and then just have them maintain it, because I know some of you are like, Janita, I am not polishing my toes. I am not doing no deep, cuticle care. And I totally get it. It's for the relaxation for you. But here's what I need you to know. Every system, every more so routine, every routine that you have to complete, you're going to have have a rhythm that you upkeep at home. We don't get to go to the dentist every 3 to 6 months and then not brush our teeth in between that time. It's not going to work. You're going to have a routine around what you want to see getting better. So that's no different for your foot care. If you have cracking heels at the bottom, if you have, thickened skin all around here, or even your actual toes are, builds up calluses the way it rubs in between your shoe, you need a system and a routine at home to deal with that in between your services. And a huge part of that is the exfoliation once a week, and then the therapeutic foot cream on a daily basis. If you can do it at nighttime, that works as well. And then when you see that there is a thickened area, I typically say check in once you do your exfoliator, then you can use your foot file. But I highly recommend that you use the fine side of the foot file first. y'all. I have had clients who did the coarser side first, and they like, oh, I took off too much. Yes, you cannot go from I'm calloused out, thick rock-like type of heels, and then expect it to just completely go away. What we want is gradual changes. So that way you won't create a sensitivity and you won't be able to walk around because you limping because you done took too much off your heels. No. Okay. No, we want to take this slow. I typically say anywhere between 3 to 6 months. So we take the first step, we take 90 days where we're just like, we're on our routine. We're building a system. We know what to do at home. We know, what steps to take to make things better. And then we check in at the 30-day mark on that. Okay, we took before pictures, so we know, okay, this was really dry, and I feel like, oh my goodness, I don't have to do as much to get it softened. That's a win. Because if you was hard like a rock, your feet was hard like a rock, or your heels was hard like a rock, and then it's softened, it's more pliable, we can work with that. Then after that, we go for another 60 days of consistency. And then we check back in. Oh, I think it's going down. I think the callus is going down or it's disappearing. That's a win. That's what we want. Then we go into the 90-day mark. And I promise y'all, if you go hard and you consistent with the 90-day stuff, you will see a change. My clients were like, girl, my feet was so cracky. And just by changing up the steps of not using the cheese grater foot file, you're going to see an amazing result. If you just stop using that, you will see an amazing result. And you incorporate these other steps too. Game changer. By the spring, summertime, you will not have the issues that you have if you start now. And ain't no sense of going on vacation, right? And then got all these cute outfits, got these cute shoes, and then just to put them in put your feet in them and they all cracked up. No, we're not doing it. That's why I'm here. That's why I want to share this with you. There is a better way. All right. So I just took you all through that 3-step method. Again, it's the exfoliation first, moisturize second, and then you want to smooth and refine. We're not using I think I'm back. We're not using cheese grater looking foot files anymore. We are enhancing our self-care by using a foot file that actually works. This moisture pack is bundled on my store. You can purchase your moisture pack and I'll get it shipped out to you before the week is out, and you will be able to do this whole routine. I'll also send you like a digital visual version of what I'm saying so you can know exactly what to do, and you should not have any trouble. I also do a digital consultation. I have you all send me over pictures and we can kind of like gauge, okay, this is what you need to do for this is what you need to do for that. Because what I do realize is not everybody feels comfortable going into a nail salon right now, especially after, since the pandemic. You're more used to doing it yourself or upkeeping yourself, or you're ignoring it expecting for it to get better, and it's not. So we want to stop ignoring it. We want to create a routine and get you those results that you deserve. Okay, we stand on our feet. We're working all the time. Like, we need our feet and we need it to be solid. All right, and we cute out here in 2024. We are cute. Okay, and we want to be cute from head to toe. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to talk to you all about, this goes into for those who are wanting to care for their own feet. You want to make sure that you're using a foot basin versus those ones that are like massage based. The reason why is because they have these little like areas where it's hard to disinfect. And what I have found is that if you don't clean it good, which you can't always clean it because they have like those little massagers in it, the little rollers, and it's not like smooth. So it's hard to get into the cracks and crevices of it to be able to clean it properly, which is where bacteria and buildup and different things of that nature that can create a foot problem, that can be an issue. All right, if you can't clean it properly. And so instead, I encourage you to use like a foot basin. You can even use like one of those dish pans, where it's like a little bucket, but it's large enough, because sometimes if you're working on a larger foot, the little buckets won't work. It's kind of like pressing down. But if you use the dish pans, it's wide enough and open enough for you to soak your feet in there just a little bit after you have done the exfoliation. So that's what I suggest when if you're taking a moment and doing a self-care moment for yourself at home, and you're not in the shower or whatever. Get you a little basin with some warm water. It doesn't have to be scalding hot, ladies. I already know us. It doesn't have to be scalding hot, but you get you some little water. You put the exfoliation on, and when you're putting the exfoliation on, you want to focus on these areas. You want to focus on the callus area. So you don't want to just slather the scrub on and then rinse it off. That's not really going to help you. What you must do, like we talked about earlier, is move that dead skin out of the way, and you're going to focus on rubbing it into your heels, rubbing it into, this is another like popular area where you get hardened skin. You want to rub it into that area, and then here, and you can even do your toes. It'll actually like help soften up the skin and the cuticles that can build up around your toenails as well. Okay, so that's what you want to do, and then you will want to put your foot in the basin and just rinse all the scrub off of your feet. Now it's going to leave like a smooth, softened surface. I love that. Okay, this is also a body scrub, so you can use it all over your body. I just don't suggest that you use it on your face until you like do like a test area, because it does have essential oils in it, and I don't want you to have any irritation. But other than that, from the neck down, I use it, and it's just the perfect spa treatment at home. All right. But it's going to leave like a glove of moisture on your feet once you finish putting it all over. And then what you want to do is you want to get a towel and blot dry your feet. Just blot dry all over. Making sure that you pay attention to drying in between your toes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, tell your gentlemen in your life, all right, make sure you dry in between your toes. Make sure you're cleaning in between your toes. If you've been dealing with a smell in your feet, and you're like, what is that coming from? I don't know what's going on. I change out my stuff, but it's still smelly. Most likely it's because you're getting out of the shower, you're, kind of rushing, and then you're throwing on your socks, and then you're throwing on your shoes, and you're staying in them shoes for 12-hour days, and it's allowing the water to create a bacteria in between your toes. And unlike this little model foot here, some of us have like a padded skin that like has like a little deep sac in between our toes, especially here, these last two, that if you're just glossing over drying your feet and not flossing through your toes, it's easy for the water to just sit in there. And so again, I would highly recommend that you clean really, really good in between your toes, and that you dry really, really good in between your toes once you're done. And then once you have, exfoliated, you scrubbed it into the right areas, you rubbed it into the right areas, massaged it really, really good. Then you want to rinse it off, dry your foot, dry in between your toes, and then that's when you would go in with your therapeutic foot cream. You typically only need like a quarter size. Add more, if you want. I always, when I apply it, try to do a little massage on my feet. Our feet has all of our, tendons and all of that, and the muscles and different things of that nature. It's all connected to the upper part of our bodies. So if you have a moment to just like massage right here and like do what I'm doing, like rub your thumbs in between here, it is a huge stress reliever, you all, especially like right in here as well. You can also do a tennis ball where you're like rolling your feet on the tennis ball. That's a good stress reliever as well. And then if you deal with a lot of like congestion and sinuses, and even if your little ones or your companions deal with congestion and different things of that nature, you can massage their actual toes, and it will release the sinuses. A little bit ago I was dealing with that, and I literally, it came back to my mind to do, and I started massaging my toes really good, going up and down, and then on the side and in the front, and then going back to the ball of the feet, or the tip of the toes, and doing the same thing up and down, and then on the sides of the toes. It really released it. I did the same thing in the front. I just applied a little bit of pressure, and it really released it, and I was able to get some rest. So listen, especially those other moms, I'm a mom of 3, we need to get these babies to bed. We want to release their sinuses. That's something you can do. All right, so after you have done that, you've done the exfoliation, you've done the foot cream, then that's when you go in with the fine side of the foot file, and you're going to focus on the areas that have been challenging. Okay? And I would say like a circular motion. You don't have to saw back and forth necessarily. Like, just start with like a circular motion. And what you're doing is your goal is to smooth. So what you're wanting to make sure is you go in the circular motion, getting it off, but then you touch it. You take a break and you touch it to see what areas still need it. Because what I have found too is once you get so engulfed in trying to get it all off, if you don't check back in, that's where the sensitivity happens, where you are, have taken off too much. Okay. All right. So again, you're going to do that on your heels and whatever area around your feet, specifically focusing on this area right here, and then right here. Of course, you can use it in between. I would not recommend you using it right here or anything like that, because it can create a sensitivity. I don't want you to be, having no issue with that. But if you see like, I kind of get a little buildup on my around my cuticle area, how do I get that softened? What you would want to do is use a buffer. And these little buffers would be able to help you smooth those little areas that are a little calloused up. You can also use the little buffer at the tips of your toes as well, to just like smooth if you have a little callous area right there as well. Okay, so that is like the basics. All right, so I would say, if you ask me how long would it take me to do this routine, I would say you can get this routine done in anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. And the only reason why it may be a little bit longer is if you are doing a basin. So if you're actually like sitting down, having a self-care moment, and you're doing it, on the side of your couch or on the side of your bed or something like that, it may take you a little bit longer. But if you're hopping in the shower, you're doing your exfoliation, and then you're hopping in the shower, rinsing off, that's not going to take you long. All right. 5 to 10 minutes, you can get this done. I would highly encourage you to use the therapeutic foot cream, especially that first 90-day time frame. Use that on a nightly basis for each foot, and just focus in on getting the heel, the areas that are more callous, getting those massaged in really well. Get the product massaged in there really well. Don't just slap it on there. Get it massaged in really well, and it's going to help. Oh, Dana, awesome. You say it's the real deal. Dana told y'all, she telling y'all it's the real deal. And y'all, listen, I'm so glad she said that. I am for results. Okay. Like, I know we have stuff to do. Our resources can go to a lot of places as adults. I love seeing results. So the reason behind me creating this foot care line and this exfoliation and having the tool, the foot file, literally was to answer the question and give you all solutions to what you all have had trouble with. So when I think it came after my second child. So I had my son, and us moms know, like, you can't go in with Bath and Body Works or like a whole bunch of perfumes after you have a baby. You really have to be very careful on what you use. But I was so scaly, y'all. I was so dry and scaly. And so I was like, what can I do? And so I started to do research on moisturizing exfoliants. And after doing deep research, I even went to the library because I was like, let me study these oils. Let me get some insight. And I was able to come up with a combination that really, really worked for me. And when I came off of maternity leave, I just was like asking my clients, like, hey, I use this, can I try it on you, see if you like it? And they loved it. All right. And then I just bottled it up for them because I wanted them to help work with me while they were at home too. I wanted them to have something to help soften their hands, soften their feet. It was a game changer. And then, after the pandemic happened, I also realized that, like, people were like, okay, well, you said I got to use moisture and you said I can't use Vaseline. So what am I going to do to soften my feet? And then that's when I started to do more research on how I can come up with a solution other than Vaseline for your feet that actually will work. And then I started to beta test that with my clients. And then they were like, no, this is amazing. Can I get some more? And then there you go. And then the foot file, honey, y'all, I've been talking about cheese grater foot files and not using them for forever. So I had to get y'all a solution for that as well. But I've been using these foot files for over 7+ years now. And so I just wanted to make sure that you all had a routine, because we learned in the pandemic, you need to have a little backup at home, a little kit. So you ain't, falling off if you can't get to your beauty professional. All right. So that is that on the foot care. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the question box. You can even send me a DM if you're interested in a consultation. I can do a digital consultation. Basically how those works, again, is you send me your pictures of your feet, and then we go on a Zoom call and I bring them up so we can kind of talk through, okay, this is why this is happening. This is why you're having trouble with this. I've done that for nails as well, because some people are at home doing their own nails, and in love, you're not doing it right. And so you're having trouble and you're creating an issue. And so I want to help you with that. Again, typically when people go to traditional nail salons, you're not able to have this type of dialogue, this type of communication with your beauty professional. And I feel like you need to. I feel like just because it's nails, just because it's feet, just like when you go to, get your skincare taken care of by your dermatologist, or you go to your allergist, we have questions. We need to know. And everything is not Googleable to understand. Like, you still like, okay, but I Googled it and YouTube came up, but I still got a lot of questions. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to answer your questions. So digital consultations are an option. You can also, I have a studio, that's what I'm in. I'm located in Plano. You can come through and we can do a consultation. Now, if you book a service with me, the consultation comes with the service, so you don't have to do that. But yeah, we can get out a plan for you so you know exactly how to take care of your feet. And then again, if you have questions about your nails, I can answer those too. I've been 10+ years in the game, and I went to school to be a instructor to teach others people how to do this. And God just so happened to turn a light bulb on in my head to say, girl, the internet needs this information as well. So I'm here to share. I'm here to provide as much information and be a resource for you. Again, you don't have to be necessarily my client in this area in order for me to help you. I'm also referring other beauty professionals that may be in your area to care for you, because I get a lot of questions about, okay, where can I go? Because my nail salon that's up the street from me ain't doing it no more. It's not hitting like I needed to hit. I'm all about finding a nail tech in your area as well. So hopefully this helps, I'm going to repost this shortly after I end. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please share this out. So many people need this information. We have elderly in our lives. Y'all, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go. I have serviced so many people. I specialize in serving diabetics and heart condition patients and prenatal care patients and anybody who deals with health challenges. That's actually my specialty. I sat under a podiatrist and got some insight on what I need to refer out versus what I can service. And one of the things that I can say about the elderly and about men is that they need some extra care from us because they're not really sure how to care for their feet. They can't maybe reach their feet, and or they're just not sure how to care for it. And so please check on your family members, educate them, share with them. Maybe, you can even get them a little kit as a little, treat for them. But this is something that we need. Foot health is major. It's major. I know a lot of people have issues and they don't even know they have an issue, and then when they come in and they get their pedicures done with me, I can say, hey, I have a podiatrist that I can refer you to that can help you take care of this. If you're in pain all the time with your feet, if you're aching all the time with your feet, that is not normal. That should not be, and it doesn't have to be. It's just oftentimes we're not sure what to do. We're over there doing surgery at home, thinking we know what to do. We're, on Google, we on YouTube University, and we don't really know because we haven't stepped out and talked to a professional. All right. So I got you. All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. The links are in my bio. But if you can't find them, reach out directly. All right. Thank y'all again for watching. Thank you so much for sharing. Have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. God bless.